Okay. We are live. Hello, any potential VOD watchers. Hope you guys are doing well on this. I'm not sure when you're watching it, but for me, it's a nice Thursday evening. And we're preparing to just do some, I don't know. Today's kind of a whatever day. It's a day before it's a day before the day I'm finally on vacation. So, yeah, dude. I'm just taking it easy. I'm just doing some chill stuff. Maybe we're probably gonna do some Ascii code, clean up things, and maybe we'll play some games. Take a chill day, dude. I'm not sure we're gonna play. I downloaded the Order of the Falling Star from. I have the demo for that. That got released. Day before the day, you say? Yeah, the day before the day. Before the day I go on vacation. So, it's the most technical, precise way to describe that. Also good to see you, Syndicate. Hopefully you're doing well. What's going on, Charon? Glad to have you here in chat. Hopefully all's well. What is happening? Why is my keyboard not working? Oh, don't do this to me. Did it get unplugged by accident? Oh no. It's doing the thing. No. What is happening? No. I can't change the workstations. I can't. Okay, let me test to make sure this is the case. Yep, no keyboard input whatsoever. Oh no, dude. Am I gonna have to do a hard reset? Darn you, Dinkelberg. Console gaming? No, we're not doing. Not today, at least. I just started the stream, and now I'm gonna have to reset it. This sucks. I don't even know how that happened. I didn't even unplug. I guess I was doing some fiddling around. Maybe You hate to see it. Okay, guys, 1 second. We're gonna do a little hard reset, and then we're gonna go back to the stream. Just BRB once. Oh, I can't even type in chat. What am I? Just wait a second, all right? Wait. All right, we should be back, I believe. We're back, I believe. And so far, keyboard stuff is working. Let's see if chat is still alive. Warnstrom. What is Warnstrom? Oh man. Okay, I think we're back. We're alive again. Seems that we made it back. That was a relatively quick, not too painful reset. Again, kill all PyCom. Gotta do that. Welcome everyone who survived the little reset we had. Anyways. Oh, whoopsie. I pressed restart on refresh on the monitor. Oh well. So there's different things we can do today, man. I'm not gonna be not too tied to any particular thing. I just wanna chill and get my brain thinking. I kinda wanna do some little project reorg. I kinda wanna do some cleanup here and there. There's also some game stuff we can do. I think like what? 5. Open up Steam. See what they got going on there. I don't know though. I'm not too. There we go. There we go. Roshan, what's going on, Roshan? Good to see you. Glad to have you. Hope all is well this fine evening. So, last time, I am pretty happy about this though, is that... What's going on? Why is this... Okay, there we go. So last time we were trying to get the rotation working. We got our transformation working at the very end of the stream, which is pretty sick. Second run game. And if I can zoom this out a little bit, you can see the Cozy Cabin Games is rotating the icon. So our transformation matrix actually works, dude. Have you used WASM or WASM Edge? I've done WASM indirectly. I use mscripting though for compilation of WASM. I don't know what WASM Edge is though. I just know mscripting is this magic thing that converts my C and C++ stuff into WASM. But yeah. So we got our transformation matrix working, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think what I want to do is maybe do a little bit of project cleanup a little bit, and then maybe today we can start being a little fancy and learn about SIMD. Not you, Cindy, Syndicate. Talking about SIMD, SIMD, and AVX and all that fun stuff, and we can start learning and get better. Now that we've resolved all the matrix stuff. I just found it out yesterday. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. It's like the one way to make web development actually tolerable, which is to not use JavaScript and actually just work within a kind of native context. Or you're using regular old, I don't know, different languages can, it's an intermediary format, isn't it, right? Because like you can compile any language, or at least there's a multitude of different languages that can be compiled to WASM. Hey, what's going on, Monsi? Hello, Mr. Cabin Games, please. Mr. Cabin Games is my father. Just call me Cabin Bro or Cabin Guy. Good to see you though, dude. So yeah, we got our rotation, we got our transformation matrix working, so I'm happy about that. So I think today, actually, I might do a small C project just to test out the SIMD stuff in isolation, and then I'll try integrating my project to support it. And I have to think about like how I'm going to do the definitions for it, because it's like, actually I think we might just do multiple flags for the different, like for SSE, MMX, all the way up to AVX 12 or AVX 2. AVX 2, my bad. Let's go on 1080p. But yeah, we're gonna see what's going on here. What's going on here? Oh, that's for Pygame. Yeah, we're not doing Pygame. And we're not doing Bun. Maybe we're gonna look at some how to get mouse input from ANSI escape codes. But that's a separate thing. This is what I'm looking for. And there's actually not only that, there's also a GitHub. Someone has a nice little GitHub guide for intrinsic, so I'm gonna take a look at that for reference, or I guess I'm just gonna have to Google it. I was looking at gas yesterday, because that's gonna be the next level of by the way. We always joke about this levels of like by the way, like, you know how people will throw in, by the way I use Rust, by the way I use Vim, but do you know that, by the way, like I do Vim, you know, I do. By the way, I use Arch Linux. Like, there's levels to it. So, yeah, I think the next level is gonna be learning some assembly and using gas. Not for any particular productive purpose, just to be an annoying dude. Okay, no, there's a GitHub page. Someone actually did a good. Yeah, short examples illustrating AVX2 intrinsics. I just need to figure out how to build it and what flag to pass in the GCC, and then we're gonna YOLO and just figure it out. Timothy Connor, I found the impossible. A limitation of Proxmox. It won't run on my 15-year-old Dell laptop, apparently. UEFI problems. The more you know. Wow. Well, sounds like you're having a great time with that. That sounds like you're very pleased as punch with that. You do that for a living, by the way, or assembly. Okay, let's see here. Okay, do we just go straight into our, well, first let's open up main.c. Also, I want to really illustrate the whole matrix thing, so I want to scale, I want to like oscillate all the properties we have here. Position and angle, position, and rotation. That's the thing I want to do, or scale. That's the other thing. So let's, for our little demo, scale is a float 3. Yeah, that's fine. Let me try building this. If you're wondering why the terminal is so small in this one, it's just, I want to have a higher res, okay? Just want to have a little bit of a higher res. Hey, look at that! Look at it! Our transformation matrix is just working, dude. And the lighting's still actually working consistent. I'm really happy with the lighting system, that it's like kind of just working correctly for this sort of thing. I know there's an issue that we encountered last time where like multiple light sources weren't quite combining correctly, so maybe we'll try tackling that today. Let's also take a look at this better. So where does it say lit here? Let me convert this to a standard unlit shader so we can actually see clearly what's going on. Look at the cabin, dude. The cabin's just going, man. Oh, dude, I'm just pleased as punch. What can I say, man? I am simply pleased as punch. But no, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, so actually there's a few things. I want to move the matrix stuff around. Cause it's fun, Obi. It's fun to do it. It exposes you to a bunch of levels of different ideas you can learn. Okay, that's not a great the way of describing it. It exposes you to different problems and domains of knowledge that typically engine solves for you. But by handwriting it, you get to learn, and it makes you a better rounded engineer. Like if I didn't, so for example, we're gonna do, or at least what I'm thinking about doing today, is that we made our own like simple float types, right? Like float 2s, float 3s. The other thing I want to do is actually move our, I want to move our, and close this buffer. I want to edit anyways. Where are you? I'm pretty sure we made, where's our matrix? Yeah, matrix 4x4 is defined here. Let me make sure my changes persist. Yeah, they did persist. Okay, perfect. But yeah, we have our like matrix struct, right? And right now we're just implementing it straightforward. But like that's really inefficient. So what most modern libraries for vector stuff do, or for like this kind of stuff, they have like SIMD operations, right? So that you can modify multiple data at once. So you can just like install like math foo or something, and you have access to stuff, and it's very robust and cool. But I kind of want to learn about this stuff, so why not just do our own class or our own math structs and actually figure out how to make this work and utilize intrinsics, and let's see what problems we encounter while doing that, and it's gonna give us a better insight into what goes on under the hood. So even if you do end up having to go to an engine for whatever reasons that may be, you're still equipped with knowledge of what's going on under the hood, and you can force it to do stuff that you wouldn't think of otherwise. I don't know, it's also just fun. Why not? But yeah, first thing, first order of business, I want to change this, and I also think I want to change this type. It is a matrix 4x4. I kind of want to change the naming to a float 4x4. That's more minor, but I don't know. I kind of like, because we have this going on with these types, like float 3, right? And float 2 and whatnot. Like we're not saying this is a vector explicitly. We're just saying this is a container that for this type of data. Now, how much is that going to be useful for a matrix of 4x4? A 4x4 matrix? I'm not sure. Like here, you can probably think of float 3s as also like representing color, or float 4s as representing color. So maybe it's actually fine to have that ambiguity of like the data type definition, but or like it maybe makes sense to be more ambiguous here, but it's not a big deal. Anyways, let me actually just do that. So let me zoom in my terminal back here. I don't even know what resolution is normal for this anymore. Also, we're gonna move stuff, but let's first get this going. We have to make a hard decision. Are we gonna make this be float 4x4? I'm thinking about it. Confirmed. Also, let me commit my changes right now. I don't really have much changes, do I? Minor tweaks. What's going on, Gerard? Talk about wasting time? Maybe in your eyes, man. Maybe for you it's a waste of time. For me, I find it enjoyable. And a nice usage of my time. Do you know you can run Java script on the GPU? It's pretty good for processing matrices and image data. I don't want to do that. Like at that point, why not just do CUDA, dude? That's just me, though. Okay. What do you have going on here? Right, so I'm doing the matrix. I'm moving stuff, right? We made our new float 4x4. Let's start massaging the code into where it needs to be. Oh, I made a capital F too. Come on. Why would I do that to myself? We just got this thing working, and we're gonna promptly destroy it. And it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Not really, but I think it's better to do it now while it's still easy and maintainable than later on when it gets unwieldy. Yeah, we're not doing this, we're doing this. Build object reference. Is this relying on static acquisition of stuff? Yes, it is. So I actually have to be kind of very particular about that. I might actually move this into a separate function. Like we're gonna have one contextual to objects here, then I'm gonna have one that's contextual to just building a general transform matrix. Call it so x4. I also have to change this. You know CUDA? Have some tips for starting out? Not really. I'm not very... I know of CUDA, and I've seen the things you could do with it. And it's kind of cool that you can just write C++ for the GPU. But I haven't really done much with CUDA at all. JavaScript in the GPU? Yep. No. But yeah, that's a pretty gnarly thing. I use it to build an app that can convert any image into an art stencil or set of stencils, and the script language syntax is really nice in your opinion. I mean, I'm not gonna like yuck someone else's yum. I just really dislike JavaScript. I think we've had this discussion before too. Like, I don't like JavaScript. And so it's hard for me to get... I'm not gonna really feign that I'm like, that's cool, dude. I'm like, that's a thing that exists. And if people like it, cool. That's just not the minimum I can say is that's not for me. But like I said, I'm not gonna yuck someone else's yum. If it's cool and if it gets you excited for doing stuff, heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Right, we're making yeah. F4x4 transform matrix. Is that what we're gonna call it? Transform matrix? And then we're gonna get rid of this object reference, and instead we're gonna provide it with like a float3 for position, for scale, and then a float for angle. Struct for float3, scale, perfect. We can get rid of this, and then we just have to insert the correct stuff here. Actually, we're going to change this to theta. I should probably look at the documentation for what units cost and sign take. They're probably radians, but I don't know. How are you doing today? Hey, what's going on, SPO? Good to see you, man. Hopefully you're doing well, man. You just like JavaScript? Oh, I get. You actually just like accomplishing things? No, it's not about accomplishing things. I think if you write anything of significant complexity, JavaScript does not bear that weight very well. And the people who do, like, build complex systems on JavaScript, like, yeah, you have to enforce it. The language is not going to enforce anything for you. So it's it's like an extra thing you're going to have to take on. And then, like, on top of that, right, like, there's, like, limits to how performant you can make it. So if you're doing, like, actual high performance applications, then you straight up just cannot do most of it. You can get around. You can use WASM to achieve quite a bit. People have done stuff like that. But yeah, it seems more like a workaround versus like the nicely designed solution, like the right tool for that job, right? It's like forcing a tool to do something it was not intended for. Do you like jazz? I love jazz. I love me some jazz. TypeScript makes it even better? Not really. I mean, it's cool. So TypeScript is great when it does work, but when some weird JavaScript issue pops up, I mean, it depends on what you're doing, right? But if you're doing like a bundler or something like that, then like you have to all of a sudden you have to deal with issues at like at the bundled code level, and the transpiled level, which is like way less easy to deal with than you know, because you're entering into a contract where it's like, hey, I'm gonna use you, and by using you, you're gonna protect me from having to deal with JavaScript directly. But once that contract gets violated, it's like, okay, that's not great. Theta scale XY. Yeah, that works. You have to change O position to just position. Scale.z. Position, scale, theta. Okay, cool. So we have a simple function. We'll do a little documentation, because why not? Builds an affine transformation matrix that contains the values for, I don't know, for position, scale, and rotation. Also, am I dumb? This is not a 4x4 matrix, this is a 3x3 matrix. I just realized that. 4x4 is if you're doing like 3D space. But we're not doing 3D space. We're doing 2D space. So we're actually defining a 2D matrix, which just requires a 3x3 matrix to be able to, for the math to shake out properly. Splendid. What's going on? Looks fancy. Can I ask about your keyboard? Oh yeah, you got me. Thank you, Terrell. You're wrong about it. We had this discussion before, Obi. I don't think I'm wrong about it at all. I think like the work, like the things I've encountered while working, right? Like working had that, I don't know how to describe this. Like the stuff I encounter, like it would not. And I think a lot of the most painful points I've had with like programming have been within like dynamically typed languages. And I see like the domains that we have to deal with. I mean, there's like one level of like just, how should I say it, but like the enforcement of certain contracts of how objects interact with each other, right? And then there's the other side of like the performance critical things. $1985? It's 2 older than you? That's crazy, dude, Niagara. And I've decided to publish my NPM packages without bundling, which is fine because my source code is very compact and efficient. All good, dude. What's going on here? Okay, I saw a bunch of messages disappear. What's going on here? That never happens. You're 100% wrong about it. The reason you can't articulate means you don't know what you're talking about. Gerard, dude, don't be dumb. Teach your own experience. If you got your own means, methods fine as far as this discussion. Yeah, there's like no point. Like, why are you so gung-ho about trying to convince me otherwise, dude? Also, what's going on, Monsi? I'm not a web guy, so I'll concede maybe its abstraction helps. Is your shader columns major default? What language is it? So I'm using this is all in C. So we're actually, this is all software rendered. We're not doing the GPU stuff at all. So we can kind of just determine if it's column major or row major. I actually don't know which one we're doing, if I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to be completely transparent, dude. I actually didn't explicitly choose it. I just kind of chose whatever worked, but I actually don't know which one defines row major. But you can see how we're defining our matrix here, so that should give you some insight into it. And the issue we had last time was because scale was not being applied correctly, dude. I'm not trying to convince you, just made a bunch of claims about it, so responded to them. No, I'm just telling you what I think, man. And it's not really claims, like static types exist for a reason. Like there's a reason why static types are being used. So yeah, okay, we got this moved here. We're in session data. Build object matrix, object reference. So we have this changes, because then we don't have to actually do this explicit computation. And instead, I can actually just choose to return f3x3 transform matrix. Transform matrix. And it takes in position. So actually, I shouldn't have deleted everything so gung-ho, because I do need these parameters, but I can get rid of the remaining stuff. And this is required because we're doing contextual things relevant to the object reference stuff. It's really old, but it's quite a different language than it was in 1985. I think it was talking about my keyboard, the Model M keyboard. I think it's column. Thank you, Monsi. It's wild seeing someone else with the same desk and monitors as me. Do you really, east to west? Do you actually have the same like monitors and the desk? I imagine you do audio production, because this is what came to mind for me. Like this desk and setup emerged from like the need to do audio production. I mean, not the need, but like I don't want to have separate monitor stands, so why not have a desk that allows for it and also has rack mounts? So, transform matrix. Cool. So this gets condensed. I'm gonna change the name of this to be something else. Position _ to world. That's crazy, dude. Oh, hey, man, we're twinsies, east to west. We're audio twinsy. That's a rarity, man. A man of good taste, by the way. Love my Yamahas. I thought about maybe getting Adams, but I like the clarity of the Yamahas. Okay, so I need to move the affine, or the inverse matrix function. And we also have to move the determinant functions too, because that's kind of required. And that's position to world. Really? We don't use the determinant I guess we don't. Yeah, position to world. Yeah, that's just multiplying against the matrix directly, so we'd actually just move this. And I'm going to move the determinant functions up here. Yeah, we learned all this stuff yesterday, and then we're going to promptly never rely on that knowledge again for at least some time. Because I really don't want to go to the hassle of looking up and writing out these functions. And that's like with the luxury of just having the information to look up. If you had to derive that, that'd be a whole separate thing, dude. Not the language he's typing in. Yeah. Oh no, this keyboard is not that old. This is a modern one. So I list 2 keyboards. This is Ergodox. This is a modern one. And then I have a Battleship keyboard somewhere around that's like from 1985. You can even look at the serial number. I think it tells you what factory it was made in. I have a networking exam in 10 hours and I haven't studied. And I plan on procrastinating for 9 more hours. Well, at least you're honest with yourself, NYKV. So, hey man, I'm not gonna. I've been in those shoes before, and I've clutched it out sometimes. So hopefully, dude. Hopefully it's not actually procrastination. Really, you're just preparing yourself for that 1 hour of ultra information gorging. Actually, I'm going to keep this like this. Or I guess maybe mimic the matrix structure a little bit more, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to change everything to have this prefix. So it's going to be float 2x2 determinant. 3 determinant. This also needs to be changed to be float 3x3. That's going to be the matrix that we're passing in. This is no longer relevant. Maybe I want to link to where the matrix is, but... Oh, hey, Cozy Cabin. Did you ever fix that issue with the duplicate cabin growing and shrinking? Yeah, we did, actually, Niagara. So take a look. We got it working. Okay, whoops, I didn't mean to build. I mean to run the game. So at the end of stream yesterday, we got it working, and it was like super de-duper cool. So now you can see we have rotation, position, and scaling happening. So it looks super cool. Oh man, it's beautiful. Why am I hearing Windows sounds? I don't know. Oh, it's because I have my Windows machine on this side. What's the notification they told me? What happened? Windows Defender? Thanks, dude. Yeah, but yeah, we have the matrix transformations working, so I'm very happy with this. Very, very happy with this. We got an actual... The engine's coming along, man. Little by little. And now we're doing a little cleanup because if I leave this, I need to like have everything codified so that once we start expanding on this, it doesn't become a pile of dirt. Really, like, we need to prevent it from going that bad. The thing I'm deciding is if I do a 2x2 determinant function, like this one takes in a struct of, you know, float 3x3. We don't have a struct for a 2x2 matrix, and I don't think I have the need for one either. But if I do end up doing that, then this name is not going to be correct because we're in C and there's no name spacing or function overloading. So what do we do? I could just make one function that I can change this to be different, like maybe like this or something. I don't know. Or maybe we just keep it like this, and then if we really need to refactor it later, I can just go into C-Line and do the large scale refactors there. Matrix. That's cool because I think Writer also supports, or C-Line supports this text documentation. So if you hover over a function, you'll actually get the docs, the summary there. Pretty rad. So I had to grab my phone and see. Oh, you saw it, dude. I'm glad you think it's neat though. Oh yeah, so east to west, yeah, we're just working on the Ascii game engine, and I'm also working on, well, specifically, we're going to look at some stuff. We're going to look at potentially making this matrix, or all these vector maths, faster. We're going to try learning today. But before I do that, I want to do a little bit of project reorganization to make things not crazy. So yeah, I'm going through the process of, Does this require this O parameter? Oh, right, because we get the matrix where you're taking, okay. Okay. I'm gonna yoink this. And we're gonna call this, because what we're doing is getting an inverse, really, right? And it's like two steps. We're building an inverse matrix, and then we're populating it with, and then we're doing multiplication against it. So I almost want to switch, like make a discrete function for, or an explicit function for doing multiplication of a point against this matrix. We're gonna call it yoink. The yoink engine, dude. I'm gonna put on some music, dude. I think I want some songs. Also, it feels cold in here, dude. No, we're not gonna do the Zelda playlist again today. Let me see. If I don't find anything, we're just gonna go at it. Show more. Go to my playlists. I have a playlist just for this kind of stuff. Ambience, there we go. Yeah, we have a PS2 Aquarium ambience. We have the Lost Sea Temple, Lost Ocean Temple ambience. So many ambience, dude. There's a video called Half-Life Architecture and Anime Girls that somehow ended up here. I don't know how. Newtopia, Soothing Y2K. Dude, we got the works over here, man. We got everything a gamer can need. Yeah, this is good. I like this. Kind of the wrong era for what our setup is, but who cares, man. Marvel Rivals, Yoink and Sploink. I can see that being a real title, dude. Not for Marvel, but I can see that cropping up in some other game. So what are we gonna do? Right. We're gonna do inverse. All we're gonna do is take and instruct float 3x3, and we're gonna construct an inverse matrix from it, for it. 3. I don't know, we're gonna call it R, I guess, for result. Maybe inverse. Or M-1, but we can't do that notation, sadly. But that's gonna be the result we return. And we're gonna set the parameters within there, so. Actually, it's kind of becomes a bit simple because all I gotta do is hit this I.app. Keyboard tippy taps are more about rhythm than sound, to be honest. What's going on? It's recommending nail tapping ASMR just below your stream. Guess folks really like the keyboard tippity taps. Rhythm than sound. Interesting. I haven't heard that take before, Monsi. But I can see that. Though I feel like I'd probably have the worst rhythm then. I'm just working. So it's very sporadic and inconsistent. We have this, we assign this coefficient. Yeah, that should be correct. So that's part of this. So we build our inverse coefficient. And then we have to have like a multiplication. Mult float 3. Is that how I want to like what are we? I guess like that's actually we should probably specify what kind of multiplication we're doing, like for. Wait a second. Matrix multiplication types. Because there's like cross products, dot products, and then, or I guess is it just straight up matrix multiplication? Is that what it's called? There's types of matrices. Okay, I'm just gonna call it multiple point. Or actually, let's say what the data type is. And then essentially just gonna be this. And we need to have a reference to the matrix as well, so. I keep doing 4x4. It's a 3x3 matrix. I'm being dumb. Only one monitor? Yeah, I mean, I'm working on just one monitor. I have ones on the side to like read chat and stuff like that. I think it'd be kind of bad to have to keep switching like this to read chat. But it's the closest thing, right? And we're gonna do how I'm gonna do this. So we're gonna replace M with M dot M. And that's gonna be annoying because it's gonna do that. And then we can replace det with nothing. Very nice. And we have to change W position with our point. And there we go. We got our mult F3 function. So we have the recipes for this guy here. Splendid. Indubitably. So this gets condensed down into matrix 4x. I keep doing it. Oh my goodness, dude. Why do I keep doing that? It's a float 4x, 3x3 too. I guess I'm so used to doing matrix 4x4 or float 4x4. Actually, Unity has float 4x4 and matrix 4x4. I'm so used to dealing with 4x4 matrices that I forget that for what we're doing, we don't need that yet. Is it called inverse or invert? I kind of want to have a function that for both inverse and invert, so I don't have to remember it. But that should be correct. Do I want to pass by value? Or should I just pass by... Because this is going to be a... I don't know, actually. I guess it's going to depend on the pathology, man. And how we deal with cache. Yeah, there's two chat rooms. There's one for a horizontal stream and then one for vertical stream. So I can get rid of this. And instead, we're going to return F3x3. Return, pass in the inverse matrix, and then the W pose. And then this gets removed. Splendid. I got beef with 4x4 matrices for now. Homogeneous chords are so mean. Yeah, they do. They be mean, dude. Yeah. Yep. See, this is why we're mostly chilling. Hello, Shadow Horizontal, Wizard, Money Gang. Oh my goodness, Niagara invaded both. An invader has broken into your lands. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be fun in games for now, and then eventually I'm going to port this over to an actual... I'm going to force this to be 3D at some point, and then it's going to be... And then it's going to be all bets are off. It's going to be rough, dude. It's going to be rough in these streets. All the woes of 4x4 matrices are going to come back to haunt me. Actually, I haven't had too much issues with that as of late. Don't need this anymore. And then this comes simplified as well, because no longer are we doing the whole math right here. We're going to do it all within one place, which is going to be 3x3 mult point. We're going to pass in M, and we're going to pass in L pose, L position. Gosh, it becomes simpler, dude. I'm gonna make a separate function or thing for object object utility functions. So if a 3x3 matrix is for 3D stuff, 4x4, no. So a 3x3 matrix is used for 2D stuff. It's very odd. But if you look at this, right, if I can find where we actually specified it. So this is like the contents of a 3x3 matrix, right? And if I find the actual definition here for that oh, I guess I deleted that comment. Okay, we'll just rebuild the example here. So if you look at what's encoded here, right? These are basically rows, consecutive rows. So the first row is containing cos and then theta. How do I specify? I want to have some way to like specify each column. So scale times okay, I guess this is the most reasonable we can do for right now. Yeah, I guess that's... I'm gonna simplify things down. You don't have to worry about too much of the specifics here. We're gonna change theta to just angle. That makes more sense. Scale times sine angle. And then finally 0. So that's your first hint. And then finally negative sine. Equal. And then finally, this is position.x, position.y, and 1. So these are all the contents for this matrix, right? And if you look at this 3 by 3 matrix, you'll see that we only have like one angle value that's here. Like all these are just the same angle value. And that's fine in this case because in a 2D world, your object can only rotate along one axis, which is like the one, in this case, the one facing us, right? The one that's normal to the viewer. So that makes sense. But for a 3D spatial object, you can rotate in a higher amount of dimensions, right? And so if you look at the definition for like a 3D matrix, or a matrix that contains a transform information for a 3D object. You're going to see that it's going to be encoded within a 4x4 matrix, even though we're representing a 3D point. Which is why a lot of times when we see a lot of math for this, even though you're using a 3D point, you use the value 1 within the the fourth entry. Where are you? These are individual ones. It's not giving me what I want. Come on. Okay, and it's lagging like crazy, dude. What's going on? Why are you doing this to me? Firefox, you're better than this. He going, oh my goodness, what's going on? See ya? Good to see you. Yeah, another day, back to back. What was the day before I go on vacation? Or the day before the day I go on vacation? And we got the thing going. Hopefully you're doing well though. Hopefully your 3D modeling is treating you well this evening. But yeah, so if you're doing like a 3D spatial transform, you're going to be using a 4x4 matrix, actually. I'm not sure if it generalizes beyond that to higher dimensions, if it's always going to be the dimension plus at 1 on both column and rows. I really don't know, honestly, man. I should probably sit down. I have a nice linear algebra textbook I should probably crack open. Ah, is this what I'm looking for? Nope. That's for 1. Like, I'm seeing these for the different parts, but I'm not finding it. No. Yeah, so for rotations around the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. I need to find unities. Transform, scale, or rotation and scale matrix. I wonder if they're actually encoding it the same way. Anyways, hopefully that answers your... I know it's not the best answer, the most informed answer, but I don't know, hopefully you got something from that, dude. Yeah, I want to find the... there's a way to decompose a TRS matrix. Whatever. Whatever. Let's just keep doing our refactors. Oh, the penultimate vacay day. Yeah, we're it's gonna be good, man. I'm gonna go on vacation and I'm gonna not have to worry about work and let the brain breathe a little bit, and I'm gonna bring my laptop so we can go to a fun variety of places and I can just keep looking at this code here. Or maybe finish the other game we have going on and get it ready for release already. The fact that we decided to just make the mobile release be separate makes it a lot easier to just wrap it up. And make my niece gave me some ideas, so we're gonna be, I think I'm gonna start working on putting them into the game. Is there anything else that needs to be moved into here? I think those are all the major functions that we needed to worry about. Because all this stuff is pretty straightforward. Yep, wrapping up UVs. Let's go. Maya currently trying to switch back to Blender. Yeah, Blender gang. Return home to Blender. Well, you did Maya in school first, right? And then you started picking up Blender on your spare time. Return back to Blender, though. Yeah, I think it generalizes to n+1 because isn't the additional vector just to do with translation? Yeah, I think it's for that. But I didn't want to be authoritative about it. Because I am a little ignorant in these matters. But you know what? No, we're gonna spread. We're gonna be confident at the cost of potentially spreading misinformation. But yeah, it's like usually for position, right? Yes, and then the first job was in Blender. Let's go. But everything else has been Maya. Tragic. Heartbreaking. You hate to see it. I could totally see an Onion article titled like Heartbreaking. 3D modeler abandons Blender to use Maya. Is there anything else I need to do? Like these... You know what? I think I'm going to make it object utilities thing. I think that's just what we need to do. That's what's morally correct in this scenario. Object functions.h. We're going to touch it, and then we're going to return back here. We're going to go to object functions.h. And I'm going to bundle them all into one concise location where I feel safe and secure in my decisions. I named the file wrong. I named the file float at 4x4 instead of 3x3. Darn you, Dinkelberg! Okay, did I do that anywhere else? That's not great. Okay, so we have these. I'm gonna, after we define the static allocations, I'm gonna do, because we have this deranged way of handling dependencies, right? Where everything's just one compilation unit. Object functions.h. We're gonna move all this functions into there. It's great. Yeah, I need to rethink some of the names for these two. They don't quite make sense, but it's okay. Build software rasterizer? No, actually, Monsu, we're not doing a software rasterizer. We're building a software ray tracer. Two different, fundamentally different techniques for getting pixels on a screen. Yeah, we're doing a ray tracer, which is kind of, in a weird way, simpler. On the other hand, it also can be very difficult to actually make it fast and performant as we scale up resolution. But hey, man, we'll figure it out from there, dude. It's gonna be great, dude. We're gonna add like, what if we just start turning this thing into like, I don't know. We can do like I can make a branch of this repository and make it a satire of Unreal Engine. So we can start like, we can make this, we could change it so make it be deferred rendered and then have a G buffer for everything. And then we can like slap some nice blurry TAA so that you just see a blurry mess at 640 by 640 resolution. The most blurry pixel art in the world. Looks like the entire game was censored. Oh man. Let me catch up in chat, my bad. I'm trying to switch back to Blender. Yes, the first job was Blender. Yeah. The industry standard one. Still neat that you're pursuing Blender field as well. Blender is used by so many studios now. It's pretty cool. I love to see it, dude. I love to see Blender invade more and more studios. And I just want to see it get better, dude. I know just like from friends that Ubisoft Berlin has their artists in Blender and friends at Respawn use it too. That's pretty sick. I think its standard is changing about dang time, dude. It's cool too because like you can look at like that's the cool thing about open source, right? Is that you can just look at the source code for Blender. So if you guys actually want to learn about all the cool things that Blender does, you could just like look at it. And it's not actually that crazy because Blender actually has like a architecture doc, which seems kind of crazy, but it's actually not. And it actually is kind of easy to developer docs, yeah. It's kind of easy to like, oh, there's discrete modules for the different components, so you can actually just look at that. They have the handbook, summary of code, see the features. Is it read more? Or is it material MKDocs is built using material? You can build the documentation. Is this it? No. Let me find it. There's a way to. Okay, we're gonna go to the handbook. Pick a project in context setup, navigate the code, get tips. They have a little diagram. Okay, it's not a little diagram. Where is it? Now I want to find it because it's actually kind of cool to look at it because you're just looking at the totality of Blender at a high level. Come on, you're here somewhere. There's build instructions, there's features, code layout. That seems right. Diagram, there we go, SLL. Alright, so this is a very, very light, little, small document, nothing too crazy. But if you look at it, it's actually not that bad. Like, it's large, of course, because Blender does, I don't know if you know this, but Blender does a little bit of stuff here and there, right? But it's actually not that bad. Like, you can see the different levels for the architecture, and then like they have the dependencies flow in one direction. So like things that go, The test stuff on top is dependent on the things directly below it, and you just can follow that way. But the things below are not going to be dependent on the things on top. So you can go through it and start getting a feel for like all the different components of it. They go pretty in deep too, because it's like you saw it earlier, they go down to like the OS utilities and whatnot. And even the simple stuff like file loading, whatnot. GPU drivers, you can see like how they abstract the your graphics APIs. It's pretty cool. If you're doing software development, like this is actually pretty fun to look through and get a feel of. Also, like I had a job tried to ask for 3DS experience recently, so like the Nintendo 3DS. The word Maya on Adobe since add my search journey. At improving my skill sets during the time. Yeah, you're progressing, dude. I need to have more like excuses to work with you again, dude. At some point, like I'm gonna go back to Messy Mansion, and I'm gonna set aside a budget to get like some 3D artist help on that game. I need to figure out a good workflow though. I should probably finish games first, but assuming that goes good, yeah, I should probably. I'm probably gonna need to do that because I was quickly hitting the bottleneck of how much I can 3D model and the quality of my 3D modeling. So it's like, all right, maybe we just get a little Santa's workshop of 3D models to crank out stuff for the game. That sounds like that would be fun. Okay, I think we have things kind of ordered in a reasonable fashion. Let me go back to main. I'm gonna write a cozy C utilities. That's what it's gonna be called. Also, I realized something, which is the fact that this has the wrong name, so I have to close that buffer, and we have to move float 4x4 to be float 3x3.h. The rename of shame. I didn't get it right the first time. It's very sad. Oh, 3ds Max. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, dude, that's pretty wild. Like, what are they doing? Or they need specific 3ds experience. Yeah, dude. We can't hire you unless you played Nintendogs. I'm sorry, we only hire Nintendogs enjoyers here. If you haven't played Link Between Worlds or Pokemon X, what are you doing? Yeah, you have like this great experience across AAA, indie, everything. You basically are a master of the entire pipeline. But you never played Nintendogs? You never played Nintendo Land? Okay. Things have gone wrong. Well, actually, we knew they were going to go wrong, but... Okay, yep, 58. Line 58. Of course, it's always line 58. Oh, look at that. We still even had the original name stuck in there. Was it also? Yeah, I named it just wrong. Dude. I'm so graphics pilled right now. Okay, 91. This makes sense. Yeah, because we're doing right. Yeah, we're not defining a new parameter. We're actually, or a new data thing. Also, today in stream, I think I'm gonna play the new game Jonathan Blow has. He released a demo recently, and I want to give it a try because I love Braid. I love The Witness. I'm probably gonna love this game, man, so why not give it a little gander? Dang, let's make a game for the 3DS. Don't tempt me. Don't actually tempt me. I've been thinking about... Because there's okay, not the 3DS specifically, but I've been thinking about making actual games for... Okay. There's an idea here, okay? So walk with me, guys. Let's all walk... Let's take a walk together, right? So you know how... You know... I hate JavaScript, right? We started the stream off with that topic. It caused a little bit of a little ruckus. But it's the truth. And I'm not the only one. I think like every programmer I know dislikes JavaScript. So why is JavaScript used everywhere? Well, JavaScript is used everywhere because instead of writing an application for, you know, this system and then writing another one in this other system, every OS for the most part has a browser support, right? And if they have a browser, they have a JavaScript runtime. And you want to have your application on the web page, right? So instead of building your app a bunch of times, the idea is, okay, we just write the website for web, and we just install browsers onto everyone's machines to use the web version. And that's why we have JavaScript everywhere. Now, ask yourself this. Can you download a PlayStation 1 emulator on your phone? Yeah, you can. Can you install a PS1 emulator on your computer? Yeah, you can. Can you install it on your tablet? Yeah, you can. You can install a PS1 emulator anywhere, dude. Or an N64 emulator. You can install an N64 emulator on your PSP from 2008. So, if we have these old consoles and their emulators are supported everywhere, why not just make a game for that console and it just runs everywhere? Write it once, run everywhere, dude. That's all I'm saying, man. Dude, write it for the PlayStation. Write it for this guy or some other console. It could be the 3DS or the NES or whatever, right? I'm just saying, dude, we missed out. There's a feature we could have had where to access your banking information, you'd boot up ZSNES and load up the Chase ROM to look at your account balance. I'm just saying, dude. The possibilities are endless. I want to make a game and put it on a disc. That's the thing, right? Like, that's the cool thing is not only if you have a ROM, not only do you have a ROM, but you can totally write a ROM onto a disc. Okay, it's not going to work on the PS1, sadly. But there's other consoles where you can do it, where you can just like burn the game onto a disc and play it. Also, like for the games we're doing, we're going to be burning them onto disc as well. I think we talked about that before, because like the CD has like 700 megabytes of data, and that'd be a cool... I think that's the thing we talked about, where it's like we're gonna have the game, and we're also gonna have the soundtrack for the game on the disc, so that like maybe the first few people. That was gonna be for Messy Mansion though, not for Fight and Flight. We'll see. There's so many ideas though, dude. I know we talked about making the cozy console too, but let's not jump before we can, let's not run before we can walk, right? Okay, so we did, oh yeah, we're still fixing things, right? Hey, less errors. Object function 10. But yeah, this could be super cool. Like, come on, dude, Nintendo. Why did you go to cartridges? And actually, I'm not even mad about the cartridges, but now I'm kind of mad that you don't even have the game. That's a separate story. But the PS5 is trying to get rid of it. Tragic. I would love to have the Steam Deck have a CD drive built into it. I guess you can make that. Like, I could just grab a C drive and just glue it onto my Steam Deck and just do things that way. It's saying it's at line 10. No, line... Session data. Yeah, it's saying at line 10. Oh, if I do line 10, it's a... Okay, cool. Okay, we're good. Perfect. Getting there, little by little. Little by little. I'm sorry, what? Oh, I need to pass in the parameters. Duh. Data. Very nice. Oh, there's so many ideas, dude. I get so excited for different ideas. I know I said I was gonna complete this. I wanted to complete the game before I went on vacation, but I think this vacation I'm just gonna take some time and just get it done so we can have something done and at least release it for desktop and for web. And then I think I'm gonna turn this game into Dot Dungeon. I've been thinking about this more and more, and I think I don't want to do normal. I want to do like a kind of RPG, but I don't really like turn-based, or at least the way it's done a lot of times, and I haven't seen much done with that dot mechanic, so I'm gonna try implementing it into this and see how it looks and works. It'll be a nice proof of concept too. Huh? What is going on? Where's Molt Point? Oh. I see. I was using the wrong function. Did I really call it F3? I guess I did. 37, last one. And so we get a whole new host of fun issues. Yup, more bad things. Put a game on vinyl record. Dude, just put it on a cassette, man. Easy. Alright, 1 second, guys. Let me go use the bathroom real quick. Be right back, alright? And, you know, before we do that, let's do the cool thing. Let's do the cool thing. Yes, I know, Mr. OpenGL. Engine project will return back to you and make you good at some point. Or actually, maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll... I don't know. I might... Do I want to stay with OpenGL? I need to just stick with something. I don't need to learn Vulkan. We're not going to do the conversion to Vulkan. We're not doing that. We're not going to do the Vulkan thing. We're going to be responsible-ish. Okay, hit him up. Let's go. Very nice. We're running at like 2 frames per second. Don't know why that is, but we're back. Alright, 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 sec. Okay, we're back. I'm having that weird thing where things are getting laggy for some reason. I don't know why. And last time that happened because of the GPU being weird. Right? I don't think it was a GPU. I don't know. Something's weird on my system. I don't know. It's odd. But we're crossing our fingers that we're not going to implode. We're going to make it through this. It's going to be fine. Life is going to be good. Oh, wait a second. 1 second. Let me do a little... Okay, I may have recalled the cause for this. Which may simply mean I just have to close. Close that. Copy this, close it, reopen it. Let me look at btop 2 and see what's going on. Oh, it doesn't like that my terminal's so small. Oh, that's cool. btop resizes dynamically. And it gets mad when it's too small. Okay, hopefully we're good here. No, do Vulkan. It's so much fun, I promise. Is it? I mean, probably. I don't know. Okay, what are we looking at as far as usage, available? I mean, things look fine so far, so I'm gonna just pretend like everything is hunky-dory. We're gonna get back to just the code. So yeah, we have to update a bunch of functions. But before I do that, I want to revisit these functions here. I'm not sure if I like the convention of like position underscore get world space, you know, or position to local space, etc. But I don't know, it's kind of direct too, right? Also, I don't want to use position. I think point might be more descriptive. What's going on, Blue Flocks? Yeah, horizontal's popping tonight, dude. Today's a horizontal. Horizontal has risen. It's crazy, dog. And by the way, we need to do a Discord event or something, and we need to do something in the Discord, man. I think I want to do some like VCs and hangouts there. I think I haven't done enough with the Discord. So we're gonna plan something else, dude. Especially now that I have some time, dude. Yeah, my computer is like acting very laggy. Not sure why, dude. Not sure why. Let me do something actually. Let me close down this tab. Or that browser. Hey, what's going on, Tamerka? Good to see you. Glad to have you here. Alright, guys. Does this convention say... I'm gonna change the space part to just to local instead of local space. And I'm gonna change this to point. That just feels more accurate to me. And then this build object matrix, I mean, it's what it is doing, but I think a more accurate function name would be like object matrix or transform matrix. I don't know, something like that, dude. Let's go on Souch. Not much, man. We're just chilling here, dude. Doing some devin. Talking about ideas of like putting a game on disk, which is super fun. I really want to do that. And the idea of expanding the Cozy Cabin Games operation, dude. In fact, we're not only going to have a team of 3D modelers, dude. We're going to have claymation people. Not because we're going to make a game that uses claymation. We're just going to have them doing claymation just for the enjoyment of the people. It's like an AoE type thing, you know? We're going to hire a dude to play the banjo on Wednesdays. It's going to be great, dude. Hopefully you're doing good this Thursday evening, Souch, or whatever day and time it is for you. So I know we broke a bunch of things right now. Can we compile, please, and you tell me what I did wrong? Thank you. I like that. Okay, but it's in the wrong function. It's at 22. Float 3x3 is wrong and bad. Why is that wrong? Oh, because we changed the name of build object matrix. Because now it's going to be and then within line 32 this is an annoying name to type out. I can't type that out fast at all. Okay, and then 154. Then here, it's now going to be just local space, and it's going to be changed to point. Ew. Why are you being mean? Yeah, what about that AI? This is just my thoughts on it, but we're not going to talk about it here, dude, because this is my fun space. This is my space where I get to just work on projects that I think are cool and interesting, and we get to code manually. That's crazy, that's a term now. Manual coding. So I'm just going to leave it there, alright? So we have a bunch of incorrect usages that are probably happening within. Yeah. So we have to change all these usages within session. We're calling functions that no longer exist because we changed our signature name. So we just have to find it. It's gonna be kind of straightforward though, because it's, I think I just called it matrix. 4x4 maybe. Really? Oh, it's M2x2. Yeah. Wait, really? Interesting. Oh, no, it's actually within the float. Oh, because these changed. Because now they're, it's called F3x3 determinant, yeah. Or F2x2 determinant, yeah. That's an easy fix. Really? Cool. How do you How do you code for work? Or do you code for work? Yeah, I do. That's my day job. Until a few days, because I'm gonna be going on vacation sometime soon. We'll see, actually. But yeah, that's what I do. Point to local world, okay. So we have that corrected. Let's try building it again. And now we're gonna have the errors in. Oh. There's still more here at line 100. Oh, because they're meant to be 2x2, not 3x3. Yeah, because the determinants are 2x2 matrices. Okay. Okay, that should fix it. Okay, and then we have another issue at 42. Man, I can't catch a break. Yeah, same thing here though. That should be more straightforward. No 2x2. Build it. And now line 89. Oh, it built? Wow. I thought there'd be way more things that went broken. Okay, let's try running game. Hey. It's working. Yes. Yes. Our transform is still working correctly. Nice. Okay, cool. So let's just and then now that we did that little tiny baby refactor, I want to do a little bit more. I want to consolidate. I'm going to create my own utilities folder and start separating engine components out a little bit. We're gonna call it Cozy Utils. Or I don't know, maybe just let things grow and then we'll figure out organization later. That's great. Okay, let's actually try this out now. So we have things consolidated into these functions. So now I want to think about how we're gonna. In fact, actually, we're gonna make a folder called okay. Let's open up Firefox. Oh, it's doing the thing, dude. It's doing the thing. Something's gone wrong with my machine, dude, and we're being held hostage. I cannot open up a new browser instance. Something's like my drivers probably failed for some reason or crashed. And that causes that weird slowdown we talked about earlier, as well as it causes the issues with opening up Firefox and any game actually for that matter. So I can't even we can't do the gaming thing today, at least with this session. I'd have to stop stream and reboot and then come back. So Okay, so we can't rely on looking for online references for this stuff. So I guess we're not going to do the AVX stuff at all. I can't open up Sprite, so we can't even do pixel art. That's great. So Ascii. Dude, we're just held hostage right now. We're just held hostage. It's terrible. What is our to-do list? What is the next step we want to work on now that a lot of things have been removed off the table? So we have basic movement. I think we can start working on like defining a level format for our game. That's the next big thing, and we have to start defining application level logic. So, and that means we also we have to clean up main. Today's gonna be like a cleanup day. Today we're just a janitor, because right now main has a lot of application level logic you can think about. You can think about it that way. So we should probably want to simplify it out a little bit. And get this into some kind of, like, move this into a different function that's going to be more, it's going to have more discrete steps for everything. And we have to start thinking about how we're going to structure our entities, because we have to have a way of tapping into, like, the heartbeat of the game, the update cycles. So I guess we're going to call this engine.h. Actually, no, we're not going to vim into it. So I'm going to start moving a bunch of stuff into there. Honestly, we're going to kind of clean up main a little bit. No, there's no public. And then or actually maybe, because we're going to have this whole eventually editor versus play mode thing. So I guess we can start here, and then we can start breaking things up into a better place. But hey, dude, you see, guys, why we got to make a software rendered game? What if your GPU drivers fail? Huh? What then? You can just boot up my game, and it's gonna run perfectly fine on your machine. Granted, maybe a little, you know. Actually, at a small resolution should be fine. So, but yeah, it's gonna be great, dude. We're solving this exact scenario. Oh, we have these functions too. Yeah, object reference create. This is going to go into the object utility functions, because this exists after all this stuff has been defined. Yeah. Okay. So I don't need this function anymore. We can safely get rid of that. And honestly, a lot of this stuff, like this, all this here, or all these float stuff, I'm probably going to condense them into one single, like, cozy maths utils function. I don't know. I'm going to think. But yeah, so there's an init function, and there's going to be, at some level, a run that's going to have some kind of init. We might even have an init here, or int. And it's going to report back like some kind of exit code. And then you have to think about the discrete stages that are going to happen. Like, we're going to have for sure, with all this stuff here, like we have a draw function that's going to be happening. Or really, it's going to be two draw functions. We're going to have a draw world function. And then I'm probably going to prefix this with like these two discrete things. Because that's exactly what's happening here for the most part. So this stuff outside of the loop are like the initialization things. So I'm going to yoink all this. Yeah. This is going to happen in init. There's some stuff we can remove though, like... Oh, we do need to set this. And then... I don't know what values they were, but we can fix that or put it somewhere else. Unassigned X, I don't know what this is. Lights, we're not doing that. That's going to be a level building thing we do eventually. But for right now, we don't have to actually do it this explicitly. We're not going to build any objects whatsoever. That's going to happen at application level. So these are like the strictly most necessary things that are required. What's going on, Jocko? Sorry I didn't get to you sooner. So, what else is going on here? Struct time vol. You're good? Good to hear, man. Hopefully you're doing well though, dude. Set display. I don't know why shader's build is happening after this. Like, all the module level stuff should probably be happening sooner. Yeah, we build textures here. Yeah, where is shader's build being called? Like, what is it dependent on? Is there a reason I'm calling it in that order? Probably. Let me try building it there instead. Let's go to main. So we can get rid of a lot of this stuff here now. Instead, we're doing Oh, I didn't do the prefix, did I? Yeah. So in this case, we'll do, doing what, right? 100 by 50? I think that's the resolution we're currently rendering at. You can always change that later. So far, work's gonna be the hectic next week, and I've decided to make a more cozy and less serious visual novel so I don't stress as much about it. Let's go, dude. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta focus on iteration, man, and just get something out there. To my other project, though, I just don't want to stress about it. Yeah, dude, that's exactly it, dude. Like, that's why I'm doing this right now. I could be stressing with getting Final Flight done already, but there's things about that game that I don't have solved, and I can try forcing myself to tackle it, but I mean, there's sometimes where that's warranted, and it's just, it's you know what you need to do. It's just a matter of working through it. There's times where it's just, I'm not sure how to proceed, so I'd be stuck trying to figure out what to do, and it's just not going to be great and productive. So yeah, sometimes you're in that, just in that spot, in that position. It's all right. We have a RGB to ANSI function, but we didn't need this anymore, did we? And we have a max function for some reason here, and yeah, we gotta do stuff. Why do I have this? Why do I have a bunch of random stuff here? Okay, so write the loop. I need to start designing like how we're gonna have structure logic for entities. Yeah, we have to fix that too, but we'll do that later. So you have the camera control stuff happening here. Yeah, we need to start thinking about how we're going to structure logic hook-ins into our update cycles. Because it's all fun and dandy, but at a certain point, like, we gotta actually do the thing, right? Yeah, ray test camera. So this is all go into drawing world. Cool. So we call ray test camera, we iterate through stuff. We're gonna do the character rendering buffer stuff later. Because right now we're just running the ASCII, but we need to actually be able to display text. So we're gonna have a text buffer that we're gonna draw to, and then maybe things in the world don't do that, and only UI elements actually display the text that way. Doesn't mean I won't get back to my other project. Yeah, I got that. Okay. Anything else regarding this? We have the delay as well, so we need to add that to our as another function step that happens. We should also probably take like a target FPS so we can configure that as well for how aggressively we wait, or how much we don't wait. Yeah, because what we're doing here is like super dumb and jank. That's not right. It's enough just to get things going, but I want to do a more robust solution. Right, in the very top of the screen we want to, or top of the loop we want to clear buffers. So if we have an anatomy of like what each frame is going to look like, it's going to be these. We have to do like object logic here, or really just application logic here. This is where things kind of functionally decompose. And then at the very end, this is going to mutate the world state, whatever. And then we're going to do it's called Lizard on the Window, and it's literally going to be just you as a lizard seeing and hearing things as you go from house to house. That's a cool idea though, man. That's a cool idea, dude. Gives you a different lens to, like literally lens to view things, but like a different animal you're looking through. But yeah, there's other games that have done that kind of thing, I think. Like Stray is one. I haven't played it, but it seems like that's what they're doing, and I don't know. There's something cool about seeing the world from a smaller scale, or a different scale, or from the outside. Right, and then we do frame weight. Did I name it that? It's kind of like Oregon Trail, where you can just die from dysentery. Yep. There's lots of lizards where I live, so the moment you walk out the house, you can probably see one. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool, dude. Remember when I used to live in Florida? That was the case too. The backyard was kind of like a jungle, dude. Dysentery. Yeah, that's the way I say it though. Dysentery. Dysentery. I don't know. Okay, so we also have to wrap up this engine. We have to close too. That's another thing we have to do. And there's a bunch of stuff we're doing. Not a lot actually, but just a few things. Closed for real. You know, honestly, we can structure this in a way where, like, we actually don't have game logic be embedded in this loop. Like, we can make it where at the top of the frame, the world just does its thing. It just whoosh, simulates. And then the engine does all the process of like rendering. Like, application logic does not necessarily have to happen here. And we can give something on the outside more control over that. That might be more flexible. The thing I need to make sure is time syncing. Oh, and there's also the input getting. Oh, I mean, we can just do that though. Actually, no, input, where do we get input? That's on a separate thread. We don't have to worry about that. We just have to worry about clearing input at the end of the frame, which we can do. And I think we do, yeah, input clear at the very end of frame, so it's not even a big deal. Because lizards are often on the window next to the couch where I sit. Okay. Spot zapping my sanctuary. Spot zapping my sanctuary. We should play TF2 one day. So I can sometimes see them moving when I'm playing games. That's cool, dude. That's even, because like I think a lot of the best stories or best games are the ones that actually take truths or experiences you have. At the very least, it's more genuine, right? It puts a little bit of you in there. Even if it's a simple, like, everyday observation that you encounter. Clear buffer, clear screen, render world, or your frame weight. Actually, that's going to happen right after the wait. Where's the timing stuff, though? Because I know there's some timing stuff that happens. Or is it happening all at the end of the frame? That's actually better if it happens at the end of the frame. Okay. I'm cool with this. I'm actually jamming with this idea. Okay, let's try clearing some stuff from main now that we have gone through this process of this minor cleanup. There's very much still some like application logic stuff, but like we're hiding more of this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we can get rid of this. Get rid of this. Okay. Sorry. Go all the way down. Say goodbye. I don't know what's going on here with get into time of day. T1. Hopefully this happens. Let me make sure it happens within the time delay. If not, we can add it easy. So, okay, cool, we got rid of this. And now things start becoming a little bit more clearer. And now this is just purely like not rune, run. And then this goes away because we just do I mean, this should just go away, but I'm missing some stuff. These require, These need to be defined. So I actually need to grab way more. Yeah. That's okay. Because I could just do this. We're good to go there. Yeah. This is getting kind of gnarly real quickly. That's fine. So now everything we see here is predominantly just the it's just like the logic to make things go, like to create the objects you want to have. It's independent of like any of the underlying stuff. So if we do build, actually no, we have to do nope. Ah, there we go. Where is that happening at? Why did I define int and x outside of the loop? Oh, because for reporting reasons. Okay, we have some stuff that we declared over here that needs to be included, I believe. I'm not seeing it though. Did we not include? Yeah, we need to clean it. We're doing. I mean, cleanup was much needed at this point. Things were getting really out of control real quick. But yeah, at line 87, T1 is expected, but it's not declared anywhere. I'm pretty sure we declared it somewhere in main. I'm not seeing it, so let's look at the git diff. Where's T1? What's going on, Baya? Hello, I'm new. Hey, glad to have you here, though. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. I'm just a dude doing some coding projects and trying to make some games. For the fun of it. I leave for 20 minutes to work and everyone migrated to vertical. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It happens sometimes, you know? It's all good. Let's give it, dude, it's kind of crazy. I still remember when it was like, vertical was just slammed. Now it's like there's tight competition. Vertical and horizontal are pretty close to each other. Where's the diff for... Okay, this is the diff for all the stuff we deleted. Ah, struct time val T1, T2. I see. So I need a... I'm not sure where it's being used. Is this... I guess it's like a statically allocated thing. I forgot what they're doing. I'm gonna look at them later. But for right now, what's a time val? It's so weird. It's a struct called time val, but the way it's formatted just trips me up. But yeah, that should be it. And then 135. Wrong file. Happens to the best of us. That's weird. L value required is left operand of assignment. What are you talking about? It's the same exact code we did before. What are you talking about, Willis? Come on. Do you have to go to get diff again? Or better yet, is this defined? Yeah, elapsed time is a double. You have time, struct time val statically defined. And then 108, it's not happy they were trying to do this. Do I have to cast it to a double for it to be happy? Is a left operand of assignment. Left value required as left operand of assignment. What? What are you talking about? You crazy person. So that means, like, does time exist? Do we not create time? Are we lacking time? Perchance we are. Not seeing it here. So let's go look at the diff. There we go, the main. Yep, there's a float time. It's a per frame thing. Interesting. Is it used anywhere else? What function is time doing? Why do we need time? Time is overrated. Time is whack. Float time, float time. Here we go. Time plus equals. So the cast is not the issue. But yeah, it's at the very end, so time needs to be a thing that exists across frames, so I'm just gonna make another. We'll figure out a better way of doing this. We're gonna have a dedicated time thing for dealing with deltas. As a different kind of symbol? What? Are we fighting? Terminal utils H. What? There's a name collision? Time. Well, that's odd. Do you have to just init it explicitly, maybe? That's probably not the case. You should be able to, like... Oh. Oh, there's a name collision. That's what's going on here. Because we have this local time defined. Yeah. So I can't rely on this, actually. Oh. Well, that's cool. Can't wait to find out how much of the code relies on this weird... I don't even know what it represents. What is time? Is it a total time elapsed? So that's what, and we got destructed. Yeah, because these are, yeah. I'm understanding why things are the way they are and why they're wrong for being that way. Okay, and now we have more issues. But I think it's due to things calling that old term. Undefined reference to engine render world. Oh, my bad, draw world. That's what we called it. The new render was weird. Cool. Okay. So far so good. Yep, and it's still working. Nice. So our little code massaging. Oh, it's actually not working because camera controls are not moving things the way I'd want them to. So that's not great. That's not great. But that's probably because we're only calling. I actually don't know. What's the deal here? Do input clear at the very end. We do input get. All the stuff you'd expect. Breaks. We click E. So we'll do all this stuff, and then we do engine run. And then we go and look at the engine run code. It's a very simple loop. Though before we did input clear here. So maybe we should just keep it structured the same way we did it before. Okay, that seemed to fix it. Yep. Weird, but I'm not going to complain. I'll take it. Prime. Well, I appreciate it, man. You know, all I can say is just a product of taste, time, and I don't know, going to fairs and whatnot. Keeping an eye out. It's honestly not that expensive at all to do this stuff, but it's a matter of just finding the right place. Or events and whatnot. Sweet, though. Our renderer is working. Which, by the way, we can like output at a higher resolution too. So let's actually see how we bump it up. So right now we're doing engine init with this value. We can at least do like 200 and maybe like 100 or something. Maybe 80. Oh, is it too big? Okay, 200 is a little too much. Oh yeah, you can see how the performance is tanking a little bit though. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something to make that faster if you want to operate at that high of a resolution. Or actually, maybe our wait is just unnecessary and it's actually fine. I don't know. We have to make some debugging stuff to be able to actually diagnose where we're currently at, because we haven't done that at all. We just implemented everything. But that's okay. We're gonna get there, dude. Looks cool. Thank you, man. I'm glad you dig it. Oh, dude, we need to figure out. Yeah. Okay, but the code cleanup is looking better. So I'm very happy about that. And honestly, we can just like start building out the application stuff here. And making it make more sense. So we can have like, there's things we need to do. We need to have like I want to have an easier way of creating light sources too, because the way we're doing it is kind of like not I guess it's not that bad actually. Light request point. Like we request the type and then we're good. We have the light reference, and then I guess over here is a little gnarly because we're doing manual indexing, but we can make functions into modifying this and making it a bit more easier. Dude. Beautiful though. Beautiful. This is getting better and better and better. Something I do need to think about is this whole UI idea that we talked about. Because I kind of just threw it there, because that's the way I kind of structured the order of operations. But I'm kind of realizing that we would have to interject something here. Like, I would want to have... Because the drawing the UI, I just want to be able to draw directly into the buffer, right? But to do that means we have to have logic that happens here after the draw world, which means I probably would want to take like some kind of function pointer and then run it. I forgot the syntax for function pointers, dude. I forgot it. And I can't just Google it. Where do I do this? I have it in, I think in our shaders file we define some function pointers there. Or do we not? I guess we don't. Let's go to session data, because I think this is where we define some of this stuff. We have a references defined here, a struct for array hit. Here we go, the fragment shader. So we do a type def. Okay, so type def, return type, parentheses, a pointer, and then the name of your type, and then the input parameters. I gotta say, that's like, it's super unintuitive for me in C. I always forget it. I always forget this. But let's see. Let's go to, you can close down this one. Where do we define draw UI? So type def, return type is gonna be void, pointer, we're gonna call it pre-UI draw, and it's gonna take in no parameters. A simple, just a function with 0 parameters, 0, no return type. Easy. And then do you want to express this within? Yeah, I think we might as well just express it here, because I think it makes more sense. And then what, can you just call it straight up? Pre-draw UI, and then that. Oh. Bad times. Unknown pre-draw UI. Did I not name it correctly? I placed it here. Oh, wrong place. Oh, pre-UI draw. Whoops. Too few arguments, right? Can I pass it null and have it not break? Or does that fall into the purview of undefined behavior? Probably undefined, but you know. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Segmentation fault. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, segmentation core dump. Yeah. Okay, never mind. So I guess we'll that is up for us to implement as part of application logic. That's fine. Okay, but this is like coming together a little bit. Pretty sure that's what I called it. If you build it, you run it. Segmentation fault? No. No segmentation faults. And then I can shrink this out until it actually fits on the screen. Nice. Nice. Okay, we don't need that high res, but I just wanted to see how it looks. Dude, this is like coming together so good, man. This is coming together so good. I'm so happy. Okay. So we have that going on. Man, do we keep pushing? I kinda wanna keep pushing, dude. So exciting. So we have to start designing how we're going to do the application. And handling application state as well. Yeah, because honestly we have to think, because we have to be able to go from like edit mode to. This is not going to worry about it though. This is just drawing, doing everything required for input, drawing, whatever, right? So what's really going to change is a state that's presented here. So I think we're going to make like an application level thing. Oh, whoops, wrong way. How you doing tonight? Cheers. Cheers, man. Thanks for asking. We're doing good today. I'm pretty happy. I mean, we done some. Last stream we got the transform matrix stuff going, and now we're doing some cleanup and making this feel more like an actual legitimate-ish. Something that feels a little bit more cleaner to work within. Because right now I've been kind of just sloppily throwing stuff together. Yeah, okay. Now I need to start thinking about how we're gonna do this. Now we have our application. Oh, we already had an application.h. Interesting. But we're not doing this. At least not in the way that it's like done here. Oh, kind of. I don't know. We're getting rid of all this. We're gonna be starting fresh. And I think we're gonna start with like 2 simple ideas. Application mode. One's gonna be editor. The other one's gonna be game. Maybe we'll expand more to it, but that's what we're doing. So, cool. We've defined the basic tick and structure for the underlying engine. So now we have to start thinking about how we're gonna be switching between them. I think we're gonna have because the engine itself has to it's only like needs to be knitted once, right? So all we have to do is clear it before we switch between modes or provide whatever is required for that. So I think we're actually gonna do like a run, but this is gonna report our the state of the application. And then depending on what this returns, it's going to indicate what we do next with the editor, whether it be like going from editor to playing the game or from playing the game to editor. Maybe we even have like an error state or something, in which case like the application hard stops and handles that error and reports it in the correct channels, i.e. not at all and just hard sec faulting. But that's the idea, right? That's like the idea here. So we're probably gonna have to have some two fundamental. We're gonna, like, things are gonna start branching out from here. Or we're gonna have like the game. Editor. And they're gonna be dealing with these entities in a similar but different way. And I mean, we can't really do too much. I mean, we can set up the basic infrastructure, but the next thing we need to implement is like the level structure and our level file structure and how we're going to be handling loading and all that. This is going to be very contextual to the game, so I actually have to design a bit more of the game to better inform the design decisions I make around this. But there's some basic stuff I know I need to have in here, like I said, basic way of encoding our entity states and whatnot. We're populating it. Well, actually both. And there's ideas of like, okay, maybe because depending on how big the levels are, we can like cache them all in memory, so that like all the levels exist, and we can just hot load them and then modify them and then write the file. That's something we did in the other incarnation of this engine project. But I don't know. We're gonna see. Maybe we just pay the penalty of reading from the file and just deal with it. Actually, for a runtime, I don't think I want to do that. I guess it depends on how big level files are, but I think we can make them very small and make them very serialized directly. I don't know, like maybe we'll do a thing where while developing the game can take in like a raw just text file, but for release builds it will take the files and encode them into byte format, which is leaner. And then for like final usage of the game, people are just using we're using a very lean format of the levels. But yeah, who knows? We might, if the levels aren't actually that big, we may not even have to do that, but that might be a necessity. And we should have to pay the penalty of reading from file from disk, but that seems dumb. I think it's 2026. There's got to be ways around that, especially for like a tile-based game. Game, editor, application. But yeah, we have these two distinct things, and we're gonna figure out what's gonna be in them as things go on. Probably gonna break them into their own individual files, and things are going to explode from there. Application run. These are going to have their own functions. Yeah. Like these are going to essentially at some point, at some level, is going to have like editor, run, and then game is going to have its own equivalent of that. and they're going to report that. So that application is probably going to be a stack allocated thing. I don't know. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it might. Maybe this might be too large as a. I don't know. We'll see. Application run. Yeah, but you have to have some way of indicating the current mode. So we can handle the transitions between things. Honestly, we might even need an application struct. We can have like, I think we can have this all like statically. I think that's the aim, is having things be very static. Jocelyn the Great, glad to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully your evening is going well. But even if we have like this application, we can do like wrong place. Actually, you know what? We can just do this like here. And you can just do a switch statement against it. It's going better than last night. That's good to hear. Last night was a bad night. I'm sorry to hear that, Jocelyn. But thankfully today's better, man. And hopefully it continues getting better. Yep. I'm not gonna venture to ask, but at least we can chill out. You can hear a man fight for his life, trying to make a decent application, man. And hopefully the typing is relaxing. Someone did say recently, or today, well, Monty said it, I think, earlier, that it's all about the rhythm, not the sound of the keyboard itself. I'm not sure if that goes for everyone, but game run. Okay, we have these specific ones. Yeah. And this music is super nostalgic. Usually I do the CD thing, but it makes me want to play some N64 games or something. Or revisit some old games I used to play. Haven't done that in a while, man. So these return, and then C error is a bad time, so you just gotta return that. Game run. If current error is, if the current state is error, like we shouldn't be doing the tick here. Like, should not be. I should throw an error, but I actually don't know how to do that in C. So I might have to, and I can't open up Firefox right now because our driver crashed. So right now it's kind of a miracle that we're still rendering and streaming with our GPU driver not working. Or at least not working properly. You said you're putting your game on disk? Yeah, I'd like to do that. That's gonna be happening at some point. Not sure if it's gonna be this one, but one of them for sure. Game editor. Okay, cool. So this is pretty straightforward, and the caller's gonna have to handle application logic for that. Cool. So I'm gonna make dir, not engine, it's gonna be called editor, and another folder for game. Oh? Oh. .app, I guess. Okay. Okay, we're starting to have some structure emerge, which is good. I'm excited for you. Thank you, man. I'm glad to hear that, Souch. Yeah. Honestly, I'd think about doing Fight and Flight, getting that on disc once we release, hopefully sometime this coming week or something, but I don't know. There's something, it's weird, right? Like, I know I've done a lot of work, but there's something about the game just being made in, maybe it's just me being dumb, but I don't know, it's like, I don't know. It's bothering me more and more that the game I've worked on is tied to Unity, or just tied to some other entity. And yeah, I did a lot of work and I like it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Like, by contrast with this, it feels so much more personal, because like it's mostly just my little construction. Of course, with the help of like some, I think we're only using like one library, but that's gonna grow. We're gonna use like mini audio and stuff, but I don't know. There's something I really like about this compared to like, this feels like I'm living in a house that I'm paying off, like I have a mortgage on, right? Versus using other engines, even if it's like a open source one, it feels like I'm renting. Maybe it's just I'm not saying that's correct, right? I'm just saying that's how I feel. Please yell, I'm hard of hearing. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm afraid I can't do that, but I could try talking a little bit more clearer, man. So what are we doing? Right, we just created these. So let's go to that application. And we're gonna do and we can move this stuff over there. And we can figure out if we're gonna stack allocate this or something else. to feel that way about something you created. Yeah, and it's also like I don't know. I guess part of that, like, because like with the engine, there's a lot of it that's like a black box. Like even with the open source one, like, unless you take the time to learn the entirety of the engine or a good bulk of it, it's like you're just using this black box to create stuff, and that's nothing wrong. And you have to do a lot of work just to make a game in general, even with the engine, right? So, but with this, it's like there's no black box. I understand all of it. There's this like tight ownership and agency, because like if I need to make a change, I could just make the change. Okay, so we have this stuff defined. These need to come after the application mode definitions though, because this is important. This is what's going to define the responses from each module, we can say. Yeah. So, application, current mode, application underscore run. I need to think about this. I don't think we're going to have application really have much pertinent information. Like, I honestly don't want to have application struct. I think a lot of the stuff we have is already globally defined wherever it's like required. Maybe I can do like, if I really need to be specific. So we're kind of composing the contents of the application data without using a struct, just like single specific fields publicly. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because these have their own structs too. They're gonna be required. So let's see how we're gonna do this. Because I'm not quite sure how I want to structure the dependencies. Maybe we actually have to do some proper actual regular C stuff, dude. But yeah, it's all right. We cross this bridge when we cross them, right? Yeah. So we need to start thinking about, yeah, so we have to start thinking about, because there's some general things we know we have to have. We also have to handle transition into these states too. Like, for example, what level are we loading in from, right? That's kind of important. Because editor might be a little bit different. Editor, you might be just loading arbitrary levels, so you can directly go into the one you want. Maybe for play mode, we want to be able to do that too. Maybe you can have like a branching pattern for like release builds too. Like debug versus release. So you're able to enter from whatever level you want to be at. What's going on, Brabbit? How you doing today? So, what is the verdict here? What are we gonna do? What is... Oh, dude, my computer's like lagging now. Yep. Driver issues catching up with us. We can't escape it. You know, honestly, I don't even want to prematurely start working on this, but something we do have to think about that we do know for sure is the fact that there is like we define basic underlying data for the engine, right? And we set up the stuff for rendering. But we do require a second container of information that's contextual to the type of game we're doing. So like if you have a player, what they're going to be doing, right, and the type of data that's required for them, or like, in fact, we can start even thinking about this a little bit here. You have to think about how they're going to exist. There's also different presentations. Because, like, even within game, there's going to be another enum that's going to be happening. There's more states that are going to be accruing here, which is, like... It's going to dictate how we load stuff or present things. So, like, for example, main menu. And then there's going to be, you can see like overworld, right? And then battle. Main menu, overworld, battle. Cool. So we did these things. And there's gonna be further like breakdowns from there. Like where in the overworld are we? Honestly, I'm thinking for the type of game we're gonna do, we're gonna try to keep it simple. So we're not gonna actually have multiple levels, but rather it's gonna be one continuous world that you can explore. I think I'll work on a prototype or like mock-up for what the game could look like, and then try rendering it here and see how it looks. That actually might be a smart way of going about it. Is like do the render in a sprite, or do what the game's gonna look like, and then bring it into the engine, render it, and we can see how it looks, and then go from there. I guess there's also like pausing as well. So we're going to start with just that. Define a game that has these constraints. Symbol. I like that. And then game state. So here's where things get odd, right? Because I'm thinking the ultimate goal is that within, where's main? Yeah, main. We're still keeping like fundamental engine steps here. It's just that actually, how do I want to go about this? Honestly, you don't even have to get like this global state for application. You could just take a input of like the old one. So you pass in the previous state and then it outputs the old one. And then you set the application to whatever you want. how we're gonna enter into it. I have to think about how we're gonna enter into it. But I'm still not sure how you want to have an editor now that I think about it. Because I think I can make, like, it'd be nice to be able to design, like we did before for like Fight and Flight, have Asprite almost act as like a level design tool. Because I can write export things for Asprite that lets me generate, like I can draw it with in one way in Asprite and have it export data in whatever format I want. So like maybe I can have some very explicit format like that. I don't know, I guess it depends on how many tiles we're gonna have per area on stage. I have to think about the type of game, because I'm thinking about having, I think we're going to do a top-down game. I was going to do a side profile game to show off the lighting, but we'd be doing side profile just for the lighting effects, and it's going to hamper presentation of the world, I think. Or maybe we won't, I don't know. I have to do some mock-ups and see how they feel. How does building look? Okay, that's not that bad. E-application mode. Where's main? Ah, there's the issues. Yeah, it's all within application.h. Okay. But there's a vision that's starting to take shape here. You know what I might do? I might prepare a PowerPoint presentation or something with like the design of the game and kind of pitch it to you guys. Not like seeking funding or anything, but rather just be like, hey, this is the idea for the game, this is the vision, and just make it like declared and known. That might be fun, actually. So you can kind of see what the end goal is, and then see how we're charting to that place. Previous game run. So what's the error at? It's happening at 3. So what's going on here? Why is type def struct game wrong? Oh, enum. Well, that shouldn't be odd. Yep. My computer's dying a little bit. The GPU thing is really... Okay, I guess I'll just fix this later. Okay, guys. Well, if you can still hear me, thank y'all for watching. God bless. And as always, stay cozy. Bye-bye.